it's Joel Toppin here, and what I've got set up on my screen is the new VASSAL module I've put together for Charioteer from GMT Games. And I thought I'd take just a few minutes here to show you how to use the module. Yeah, I would say the module is 99.9% complete. We're going to give it a few rounds of play testing before we release it out to the public. But I thought I'd show you just a little bit about how to use the module. Most of it should be super intuitive, but in case it's not, this will really help. So how we've got this thing set up is the game play mats are positioned at the top and the bottom of your main screen. And I have it zoomed out so you can take in the entire race. Now there's no chariots pre-positioned at the start line. I may or may not have that in the final product. We'll see how things go. Let's just assume that we're going to set up for 6 players. One of the first things you're going to want to do is you're going to open up the out of play window. You'll see this is where all the skills cards are located. I left some space here in case other pieces need to be put here. If that proves not to be the case, then I'll recenter this. But at any rate, what you want to do first is click on the Distribute Skill Cards button. And what that will do is it'll draw a card from that deck to every single player's play display. So I'm going to zoom in onto the cyan player. And then what you have to do is manually, like you would in a physical game, it doesn't automate this for you, but manually you will then match the positioning of these tokens on your playmat, and then you can just right click and discard back to out of play. It will not be needed after that point. So again, this is like something super easy to do. It only takes a few seconds, and everybody can be doing this simultaneously. So if you're playing with, a full complement, it'll just take a couple minutes for everybody to do that, and then you're ready to go ahead and start the game. So I've just done this for 3 players. Let's imagine we're not going to be using pink, yellow, or green. All you got to do is you can just discard these, get them out of the way, and then you just leave those displays alone. We won't use those for the rest of our little test here. So zooming back out to take in the full map. Next thing you want to do, I've got this thing set up so it'll automate the positioning of the cards here. You can draw these manually if you want. But what I recommend is just hit the cleanup card button here 3 times, and that'll just draw out your stripe there. And it also rolls the Emperor die. You can't select this thing. You don't roll it from the toolbar. It's a function of the cleanup at the end of the turn. It'll roll the die for the next turn, slide all the cards over, discarding the card in the number 1 slot. To change the lap, just right-click on the lap notation on the map here, and it will increase. So if I want to go to lap 2, there you go. I'm just going to undo that because we want to keep it on lap 1. Next thing we want to do is populate our hands. So if you open the hand windows, super intuitive, there's a spot to draw your 8 cards. Now, obviously at the start of the game, you have to click, 8 buttons, but after that, this gets super easy to do because you're never going to spend more than 6 cards in a turn. That's if you use your -3 token. Then you would play up to 3 and then discard up to 3, something like that. Your skill tokens are pre-positioned up here at the top of your display, and there's a space here where you can draw a token from the fan bag. So, and that's a random pull, and it'll show up on the button. So for example, I click on this and it drew a random token out. I can just slide it over here as needed. In this case, I'm just going to throw it back into the draw cup. So that's how you draw tokens. That's how you draw cards. Super easy to do. Let's get ready to race. So opening up the pieces display, you probably only have to do this once at the start of the game. I don't have the chariots pre-positioned on the map, so we're going to go ahead and just pre-position the cyan, the blue, and the gray for our little three chariot race here. Now you'll see that I don't have the wooden meeples. I have those as icons up here. It just looked too wonky on the screen from a top-down view, so I've made little semi-3D. They're a little clumsy perhaps, but I feel like these actually work nicely for the VASSAL module to depict the position of your chariots. So super easy to find, and then you can close the pieces display. You won't need that the rest of the game. So let's go ahead and make our play selections here. For cyan, we're going to pick our opening play, and we see that 4s and 2s from the yellow suit are out here. Not a great opening hand, I would say. Maybe a good move would be to play the 2 5s and then play 3 5s. I think is the best I can probably do with this particular player. So to select your card play, you just left click on a card, hit your return key on your keyboard, or you can right click and choose to select or deselect the move. Right? All that does is select the card for you. If you want to select a token, you do the same thing. Left click, hit return. You'll see it puts a green box around it with a little check mark in the upper right hand corner. Pay attention with the green tokens. It's not quite as visible, but you can still tell it's being selected. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to use any of my tokens this turn. We'll go ahead and do this for blue, and lots of good cornering cards, but not a great opening sequence necessarily. I like those 6s, so we'll go ahead and use those for them. And then for gray, we'll do the same thing. We'll pick here, I think we can pick up a bonus token. 3, 4, 5. Let's use the 4s. Yellow 4s. I know those are good recovery cards, but look at this. We got 3, 4, 5, and then the 6 out here. That'll give us a token. So once everybody's made their selection, everybody, I've got this set up to solo play, okay? So everybody would have their own little window open. And if you're signed in as a player, you can't access those other hands. But every player will need to collect or open up their window and make sure they've done their selections. Make sure their green is marked around the perimeter of the pieces. And then hit the Play Select Cards button in your toolbar. And that will simultaneously reveal all of those cards to everybody. They show up at your playmat to the left of the skills. If you want to see the little chart that's behind it, just click on the little globe button, and they'll hide all the pieces for you alone as the user, not for everyone else. So you can just, you can briefly look at those displays if you need them. I don't find them to be particularly helpful. Anyways, here we go. So first turn order doesn't really matter, so I'm just going to go from top to bottom here. The cyan player's got 3 5s, plus the 5 is an 8. Their movement is 8. And we have the Wild Emperor here, so we're going to punch up our skill by 2 for the red suit, but it's not going to do any damage to anyone. So 8 moves. You can do this super easy. You can count out your spaces and drag and drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like so. Or I've made this so you can left click, select your chariot, and then use your arrow keys on your keyboard to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, let me show you something about this. This is going to work great on the straightaways. When you get into the corners, you'll notice it starts to kind of lag behind a little bit, okay? And then to turn, you just use your side-to-side arrow keys to pivot the chariot. So you can kind of drive it around, but you'll see it starts to kind of get ahead of things. So hit the back arrow, and I made it so it increments back a little bit more slowly, so you can go forward, backward, and you can literally just drive your chariot around and achieve the effect that is needed to move it if you don't want to drag and drop. So we're just going to put him back where he belongs. Escape key on your keyboard will get rid of those irritating movement trails, but I find those trails are really useful in this game, so I'm leaving them in. If you don't like them, that's just tough. So we have, for this guy, we're going to use the green moves, and we got 3 sprint icons with a numeric value of 6, so that's going to be a 9 space move. No passing on the first turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Piece of cake. And his skill level goes up 2, like so. All right, don't discard anything, because if you have shields or anything else, I just find it helpful. Everybody just leaves all of their cards out on display until everything's done. All right, you can leave the movement trails out if you prefer. If you got a crowded race, you can leave the movement trails out to mark who's gone. There's no other movement notation on the chariots. In my testing, I have not found that to be an issue, so I haven't done any kind of gaudy movement flags on the pieces. All right, now these guys, we had a good move with these. We have 6 4 icons, so that's a 10 move. That's a great move. And then, whoops. I hate it when VASSAL just jumps around on my screen, and it seems like it only does it on Mac. There we go. All right, so 10 moves, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 is 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom, just like that. Easy peasy. All right, so everybody is ready to go for the next round. All right, now at the end of your turn, all of your pieces are out here, right? All your cards are left on your display. All you got to do is hit the cleanup button. It's going to discard all of those. Damage cubes are going to get moved over. It's going to shift everything. It's going to roll the dice on you, and then everybody can go back into their hand window, draw their cards. I'd like to just draw my card. If I'm gone first a turn, I'll just draw my card for the next turn. So I can start planning my move. That way the game doesn't drag. That way people aren't just, wasting time. So, all right, we're heading into a corner. We got a great move here for sprints, but it's not so great for a corner. So looking into the future, I don't see anything great for cornering in the future. So let's go ahead and maybe do this move. I feel like that's a decent play. And we'll go ahead and just for the sake of demonstration, well, let's go ahead and play those. See if I can do it with another team here. This guy's got an awesome hand. This is wicked here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, absolutely play those three. And I'm just throwing them all out there because solitaire, there's no need to wait. I just move from player to player and get them all selected. All right, bang, bang. All right, maybe I want to use, let's say I want to use one of my tokens here to discard cards. Let me show you how I do this. So I just go ahead and hit the return key on the piece, and then I find the cards I want to get rid of. I'm saying I'm going to get rid of that one and that one and that one. I say I just don't want those cards, and I like to draw up a fresh hand for when I get around this corner. And you know what? Let's play. All right, I'm going to undo that just for a second. I see I got another 2. So this is going to give me a very good play here. So I've selected 3 cards I want to play. Now I do this, and I want to get rid of these other 3 cards, leaving me with only these 2 in my hand. All right, I hit the play cards, and it's going to send everything to my display. Now, as soon as it does that, I, as the player, am going to just kind of separate the ones that I don't want to be a part of my play, and then put the token on top of it like so. So that's how I handle those particular moves. So then back to my little example. We got 2 cornering moves with the icon of 2. So that's a 4 and a wild emperor. So 4 around the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice cornering move. Just slide him over. And then this gets up into the bonus. And he's done. All right, for the green, or for, I forgot to draw my token for gray. Let me go ahead and do that. It wouldn't have really helped him this turn, so I'll just keep that there. All right, for the blue, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an awesome cornering move. 7 plus 2 is 9, and let's move our cornering up by 2 to there, 9. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to pass, 7, 8, 9, right there. Excellent. Right around the track there. And he's going to get a token. Shield. It's very cool. All right, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite enough for a token here, but that'll get our cornering up on our skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice cornering move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to pass. So I'll just drag and drop these guys around, reposition, escape key, done. Easy. Hit the cleanup button, and you start to see how this is going to go really, really smoothly. All right, so back to our example. Let's say I've got some damage. There's a couple ways you can get damage. You can open the pieces and drag and drop, but I made it super easy for you just to click in these spaces here. And let's say that we've taken some damage, and let's just say that maybe after all the cornering and everything, maybe things are looking like so. This guy is here. Let's say things look like this after turn. All right, hit that cleanup button. What's it going to do? It's going to discard everything, shift everything, roll the dice, and it's going to move your damage cubes over to the right. And that's it. That is pretty much it. Now, your skill tokens are going to end up, like when you discard them, they're going to end up in a little discard pile over here. To reshuffle, just right-click and it'll shuffle it back into the draw pile. Really easy. That's a rare occurrence. I've yet to ever have the bag emptied. However, I understand it is possible, so just so you know how to do it. I have not implemented a counter to show you how many cards are in the deck, but obviously if you go to your hand window and you start drawing cards and there's just like, it's not doing anything, it may report that it is, but it's not actually producing a card. Close that window, look at the map. If this box is empty, you need to reshuffle. To do that, just right click, hit reshuffle, and bang, you're back in business. So that's how the module works. Again, like I said, super easy. I played an entire race with it, and to me, it feels like it's really user-friendly. It hasn't been clunky. The clunkiest thing, I think, is that when you set up, you have to, rearrange. You have to arrange all of your little pawns to match your skills card. But after that, everything flows really, really nice. So hope you enjoy this module. We're going to try to get it out to the public here just as soon as we can. I do want to have a little bit of play testing of it just to make sure there's not any wonky problems, because you know how it is. You hate to get into a really exciting, 6-player match and then find a great game-breaking bug. So we're going to try to look for those, and then we'll get this out to you as soon as we can. I'm Joel Toppin. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you enjoy this module. Coming to you real soon. Watch for it on VASSAL Engine, VASSALengine.org. It should be popping up there in the next, I would say, next 2 weeks or so.